Today, we're going to start with a little review about what the difference between a physical change is and a chemical change. A physical change is when a substance can change in form but not in composition. So it changes the way it behaves, but not by changing what it actually is. If you observe a physical change, you're not seeing something new being formed. You're not creating anything new in the process. But that's exactly what a chemical change is when something new is formed. So if you combine two things together, you'll get something new out of their combination. So that is your difference between your physical and chemical change. Today, we're talking about physical and chemical properties. Now you can imagine it has something to do with physical change and chemical change. And you can probably pair that a physical property goes with a physical change. So what actually is a physical property? Physical property can be observed or measured without forming a new substance. And there's a whole list of physical properties as question number 2. Now each of these, if you wanted to see a change in it, you don't have to change the actual substance, what it's made of, in order to see these things. You can talk about the density of something without changing it, the color without changing it. Basically, they're adjectives or descriptive features about a physical property. Now, if we go back to the other side here, talks about chemical properties. Now, chemical property describes how a substance reacts with something else. So if you want to word for word copy this one, this is number 5 on your back page. A chemical property describes how a substance reacts with another substance when forming a new substance. So when you talk about a chemical property, you have to talk about not just the one thing, but how that thing compares if something else is introduced to it. So the properties we have are toxicity, combustibility, stability, reaction to water. So A, toxicity, substance can sit on its own and have whatever it's made of, but how toxic or poisonous it is tells you how much it will react to something else in, say, an animal or a plant if it is introduced to it. Something that's highly toxic will harm the plant or animal. Combustibility basically means how flammable it is or how easily it burns. Something only burns when you combine it with oxygen. So all of these here tell about how a substance, when combined with another substance, you can see chemical properties observed. Now, in order to fill out each of those physical properties and chemical properties, you're going to need to go into your textbook, and it gives you a definition of what each one of those are. I'll give you 2 from each of them to get you started. Let's look at physical properties to start. Density and malleability. Density we talked a lot about in grade 8. Density is mass per unit volume, or how many particles are in a given space. Malleability, or how malleable something is how it can be made into thin sheets, or how it can be manipulated and pressed into a certain shape, specifically thin sheets. All right, first 2 of number 6, toxicity and combustibility. We kind of talked about this already. Toxicity is how poisonous the chemical is. Combustibility is how easily it burns. And I'll give you C one more time. Stability is how easily it stays combined with another substance. Now I'm going to give you the rest of them to fill out on your own here, and the rest of that sheet is going to be your goal for the rest of the day. All right, see everyone soon.